So everyone is talking about the new Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. They love it, they hate it, etc. I have two different looks to show you guys today, and I have to say I do love the palette. Since I am loving this palette, I'm going to show you two different looks that I have done with it that I have loved both of. One of them I have on today. Absolutely love the colors in this palette. Now everyone says, of course, this is a warm palette. If you don't like warm palettes, you're not going to like this palette, etc. I'm going to go a little bit more into why I think that is not exactly true. But first, let's look at how beautiful this palette truly is. The packaging is phenomenal. It is plastic, no more cardboard for them, and it is a beautiful copper color, and heat is accurate. It is, you know, we are starting to get really hot here in Texas. I just love the way they did this. It's so pretty. I love the background color. We've got some kind of greenish gold going on back there, but we do have a lot of warm tones flowing on that background. You do get the big mirror, and you do get a double-sided brush, which I'll show you more in a minute. So here we are with this supposed warm palette. Everyone says, oh, it's so warm. But I think we are talking about kind of two different things when we're talking about warm palettes. Let's go through the colors on here, and I will swatch these out. Let me show you the adorable brush it comes with. Urban Decay has the best brushes in their palettes, the absolute best, and they're not throwaways at all. They're not cheap brushes, and they're totally useful for the palette. They are not generic brushes. This one is double-ended, of course. It has a flat brush on one end, which I've of course used, and then it has a tapered brush on the other. Now this one is quite stiff. I don't know that I would use this so much as a crease brush. It does have the shape of a crease brush, but because the bristles are quite stiff, I would think that maybe in the very inner crease you can use it as a crease brush, not a fully blown out blended crease. I like to use this as a blending brush on this palette. I like to blend my colors with this. I like a stiffer bristle on a blending brush. That way you can actually move the product around and diffuse it. So this palette, I would say overall, is very pink. It has a lot of peach and pink tones going on in it. Not so much orange, burnt sienna, those kind of colors that I think of when I think of a warm palette. When I think of a warm palette, I think of the NARS Narcissist Loaded palette. I did a video on that recently. That was a very warm palette. It had a lot of orangey tones. It had a lot of peach tones. It had a lot of, yes, it had some cool colors thrown in, but I think overall the theme on that one was warm. To me, the theme on this one is warm, but in a pink way. I don't generally like orange eyeshadows, burnt orange, those colors like that, coral colors, etc. This has more pink to it. That's why I love this palette so much. There's a lot of pink going on in here, pink undertones and peach tones. That is why I get along so well with this palette. Of course, there are a couple of purples in there. There's a burgundy, and then there's a deep plum. Those are always pluses in my book. I love my purples. So I'm not seeing this so warm. Everyone says it's so warm. I'm not seeing it as super warm. I will show you a warm palette. Let me show you a warm palette to me. Is this new Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I did review this recently. Very orange, umber, burnt sienna, those kind of colors. Remember your crayon colors? We had different color names like that. Orangey. This one's pinky, very pinky. So I'm not really convinced this is a warm palette. Not the sort of derogatory side of warm that I think of when I think, oh, I don't like warm palettes. I don't like orange. I don't like yellow tones. This is not exactly that. Okay, colors. Let's start from the lightest end. There is a color in here called Ounce. I have it on as a highlighter today, and I absolutely love it. I love Chaser. I loved Sauced. I love these first three colors right here. These are really good matte colors. You could just do an eye just with those, a sort of an everyday soft look, an everyday sort of colors look. Oh my gosh, now we're getting into some gorgeous, really cinnamony is what I would call this palette. Cinnamon tones. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Cinnamony palette. Cinnamon candies is what this reminds me of. Red Hots, things like that. So I may have to do some surgery on this poor color here called Ashes. I used it the other day with a wetted with Fix Plus eyeliner brush because I used it as an eyeliner. Made a great eyeliner with some Fix Plus on a angled brush, but I think I got it wet with that Fix Plus and there's like a crust over it. I may have to operate on that earlier and sort of take that crust off of there. I hate it that I have to do that. Here I had to sort of overflow over to here. Oh, look at that grape color right there. So that's ashes. It's a little ashy right now, but I may have to just kind of scrape that that hard pan off the top of it. Yum, I love this one. I haven't used that color yet. I need to use that color. Those are your colors. I don't know. See, it's a red and pink toned palette, not warm as in orange. Okay, so here's what I did today. Okay, I'm going to start out with Sauced in the crease. This is turning out to be just the best color for transition, for crease, etc. And I'm just going to put that kind of all the way on both sides of my crease because I'm going to do today a sort of a halo type deal where I have a dark color here, and then a metallic color in the middle. So my crease is kind of going to be connecting both of those dark colors on either side here. So whereas I might try to taper my crease color a little bit thinner through here, I'm not going to do that today because I am purposefully trying to connect these two sides. I love this color, absolutely love it. It's matte, but it is a warm, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a warm, deep peach. This palette is turning out to be so variable. Just a lot of different things you can do with it. Oh, that's a good highlighter. It's not super shiny metallic. It's just shiny enough. Look at that. I'm going to go into Cayenne and do that just inner crease. And I probably will have to redo that later. It will probably get sort of eaten up by my lid color, but just to deepen that inner crease, I'm going to blend that in just a second. I just want to get it in the right place first. And I already know I'm going to need more Sauced on top there. Putting a little more Sauced up here. I want it kind of diffuse though, so I'm doing it on this fluffy crease brush instead of a really skinny little transition brush. Okay, now I'm going to put Enfuego in my inner and outer lid. I'm using a brush that's small enough to get in here. I'm going to stop right about there, and I will clean up those edges, of course, but then I'm going to do out here. This is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color. It's one of my favorites in the palette. I love it. Okay, and I'm trying to do the same on the other eye and not get it too different than the first eye. Now I'm going to blend those, and I may need more color on there once I've blended them. And I'm going to use the little brush that came with the set. So I'm going to use this as a blender. I like to have a little stiffness in the bristles on blending brushes. That way it actually moves the powder, the shadow. Okay, for the lid color I'm going to use Lumbra, something like that. And I'm going to use the other end of the included brush, which is flat. Okay. Look at how Lumbra looks on the brush. This is how it is in the pan, quite peachy. On the brush, it's like a hot pink or something. What is up with that? Let's see. Okay, good. It didn't go on hot pink. Thank you. Hey, oh my God, I love it. It's duochrome. It's like a peach pink gold. Duochrome, oh my God. Put a little bit more in Fuego and repair some of these areas where I went crazy with that lid color because it's so dang pretty. So I absolutely love this look today. I love the halo in the middle. I love the way the colors all go together so nicely. I did line under my eye with ashes and then with En Fuego through here. There's not a super bright inner corner eye brightener as as we have in so many palettes, but I used Ounce in there. It's a little brightening. I love this. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but I came up with another look that I actually did before this, and I think I even liked it better. It was a little more matte, a little more everyday, a little more toned down, and less bright. Let me show you how I did that. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of Sauced in the crease. Doing sort of a toned down look with this, I'm going to apply the color called Chaser on my lid. And I will use the flat brush for that it comes with. Just a sort of a basic peach nude, peachy nude. Nice pigmentation again. Let's put on the inner crease a little of this cayenne color. Yep, I'm liking it so far. And I'm going to blend that with this blending end of this brush. Sort of keeping with the whole matte thing, I'm going to do En Fuego for the outer. Oh, look at that color. It's so pretty. Burgundy. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now I'm going to blend with that end of that blending brush again. Look how easy this matte blends. Look at how it just sort of smokes. Look at it smoke. Oh, that's so pretty. Wow, what a color. And what a texture to be able to blend that easy. Just a touch in the very outer corner of Ashes, which is a deep purple matte. We're keeping it all matte. That's what's cool about this palette. You can do all matte if you want to. Love this blending brush. Love that. I'm going to put a little more Sauced in this upper crease area just to make sure it gets seen. And then highlight is going to be Ounce. Wow, we have a little bit of sheen on that one, don't we, huh? Spray some Fix Plus on my brush. Oh, look at the intensity of that purple. So that's my cinnamon toned Naked Heat palette. I absolutely love it. The pigmentation, of course, is fantastic. We have mattes, we have satins, we have shimmers, we have everything in one palette. I really appreciate that they put quite a few mattes in there. I did the all matte look the other day, and I just loved that. There's more to this collection coming. There are lipsticks and there are eyeliners. They have not been released yet. I bought this through UrbanDecay.com. I got it the night it was released. I stayed up super late. I'm so happy that I got through and got one of these. Coming up, I have a couple of summer goodies from MAC. You don't get any summerier than their summer collection. Juicy Beauty, I think it's called, something like that. You don't get any summerier than this. So I'll show you those in my next video. So keep watching, and thanks for watching this one. I'll see you next time.